Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. We're absolutely thrilled you're joining us for another exploration into the financial world. Today, we're focusing on a really big one, Broadcom. Their upcoming earnings report is definitely something a lot of investors are watching closely. Before we jump in, please remember to subscribe, like, and maybe drop a comment on this exploration. And hey, if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into next time, let us know below. Also, if you enjoy what we do, consider buying us a coffee. Your support really helps us keep these insights coming. Okay, so let's unpack this. Earnings reports, they can feel like this, complex puzzle sometimes, but they also offer just incredible insight into a company's health, where it's heading. And Broadcom is fascinating, right? Huge player in tech infrastructure. This report is generating a lot of buzz. What's our mission today, then? What are we trying to uncover here?
Yeah, our mission is really to break it all down for you. We're going to sift through all the information available on Broadcom's upcoming earnings, pull out the most important bits, the nuggets, so you can understand what to look for, why it actually matters, and, importantly, what the market seems to be thinking. We want to give you a really clear picture, what's expected, what's happened before, and maybe what different scenarios could play out.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start with the basics then, the essential details. When exactly is Broadcom set to release this report? What's the date and time?
Right, key detail. They're scheduled to report after the market closes on Thursday, September 4th, 2025. That's going to be 5:00 p.m. Eastern Time, so mark that down. It's a key date.
September 4th, after the close. Got it. So what are the analysts predicting? What are the consensus numbers looking like for revenue and earnings per share?
The consensus is pretty specific. Analysts are collectively looking for revenue right around $15 billion. And for earnings per share, the EPS, the Zacks consensus forecast, is sitting at $1.66.
$1.66.
Okay.
How does that compare, say, year over year?
That's actually a really substantial jump. It represents year-over-year growth of almost 34%, specifically plus 33.87%. Pretty significant. And there's often that, whisper number floating around too.
Ah, yes, the whisper number, always interesting.
Exactly. It's not official, but it suggests what some folks might really be expecting. Right now, it seems to be hovering a bit above the official forecast, maybe in the $1.70 to $1.76 range.
$1.70 to $1.76. That could definitely influence the reaction if they hit that higher end. What about Broadcom itself? Did they give us any hints in their last guidance about this quarter?
They did, yeah. Last quarter, management commentary pointed towards ongoing strength in semiconductor demand. That's core for them. And they also highlighted robust performance in their infrastructure software segment. So they guided for continued revenue growth and stability in their margins, which generally suggests a positive outlook heading into this report.
Okay, good context. Now, here's where it gets really interesting for me looking back. How has Broadcom actually performed historically with these earnings reports? Do they tend to meet expectations? Beat them?
Yeah, looking back is useful. And Broadcom has shown, well, a pattern of beating estimates over the last 4 quarters. For instance, Q2 2025, they reported EPS of $1.03. The estimate was using 96 cents. So a solid $1.77 beat.
Okay.
Revenue also slightly topped what was expected, came in at $15.8 billion versus an estimated $14.97 billion. Most recently, the EPS beat was by about 0.64%.
So a consistent beat, even if sometimes small.
Generally, yes. Though it's worth noting, Q1 2025 EPS was $1.05, but Q4 2024's EPS of $1.27 actually represented a year-over-year decline. So there has been some volatility in the past. It's not always a straight line up.
That's a really important caveat. History isn't a guarantee. So how does the market typically react? What's the usual post-earnings price action we see with Broadcom shares? Is it usually a pop or a drop?
Well, historically, the shares have tended to gap up after positive earnings beats.
Makes sense.
And what's interesting is that those initial moves have often held. We've seen strong follow-through in the days after, especially if it was a larger beat than expected. On the other hand, when they have missed on EPS previously, it's usually led to sort of mild pullbacks. But often, the broader strength in the semiconductor sector has provided some support, preventing really steep drops.
Okay, so beats get rewarded. Misses are somewhat cushioned by the sector. That's helpful. Beyond just the headline beat or miss, what about the underlying trends, like revenue growth and margins over time? What story do those tell?
Looking deeper, Broadcom has shown pretty steady revenue growth overall. It's been particularly strong in both infrastructure software and their core semiconductor segments.
Right.
Now, there was some margin compression a little while back in earlier quarters.
I remember that.
Yeah, but management seems to have really focused on preserving gross margins since then. And generally, those efforts have been successful. Shows good operational control. Their trailing 12-month EPS as of August 2025 is $2.75. But like we mentioned, it has seen some volatility because of those sometimes rapid year-over-year shifts.
Okay, so a solid foundation, but with some dynamic elements. Let's zoom out a bit now to the broader picture. What does all this mean right now in today's market? Are there any big recent developments or sector trends really impacting Broadcom as we head into this report? Anything new?
Well, one positive is there haven't been any major negative headlines swirling around Broadcom lately.
Mm.
The quarter saw them continuing to integrate prior acquisitions. That's always a focus for them, especially, the big VMware deal.
All right, integration is key for a company that grows like that.
It's exactly. How well they integrate acquisitions like VMware is crucial for their software strategy and hitting synergy targets. I'll definitely be listening for updates on that. They've also been expanding their cloud and data center offerings and just generally showing steady progress in their software strategy. No huge, splashy product launches this quarter, but seem like solid execution.
And it's fascinating how much the wider sector influences things. How is the semiconductor space and tech infrastructure overall looking right now?
The semiconductor cycle is still looking, well, remarkably robust.
Really? Despite wider economic concerns?
Yes, we're seeing really strong demand from those hyperscale data centers, the huge cloud providers. That demand is pretty effectively offsetting any softness you might see in consumer devices like smartphones or PCs. So while there are definitely macroeconomic headwinds out there, the sector is still generally favored by investors. A lot of that is driven by the huge demand for AI infrastructure.
And Broadcom's position within that AI trend?
They are very well positioned. Crucially, their strength is in things like high bandwidth networking chips, custom silicon, the stuff that's absolutely essential for building and running these massive AI models.
So they're not just benefiting, they're kind of fundamental to it.
Precisely. That's a key point. They're part of the plumbing that makes the AI boom possible.
Got it. So given that strong position in the sector tailwinds, how are the analysts feeling overall? You mentioned the consensus numbers earlier, but what's the general sentiment?
The general feeling among analysts is definitely positive. Quite bullish, actually. As of mid-August 2025, the consensus analyst rating was technically strong buy.
Strong buy.
Yeah. And we haven't seen many recent downgrades or negative revisions to their outlooks. In fact, if anything, the consensus estimates have ticked up slightly, which probably reflects better visibility they're getting into the economy and market conditions, and maybe more confidence in Broadcom's AI role.
A strong buy consensus is powerful. But are there any, dissenting voices? Any potential risks that maybe the bulls are overlooking that you think listeners should be aware of?
That's a fair question. It's always good to look for the counter-argument. While the overall sentiment is strong, you might find, if you dig deeper into some research, mentions of potential customer concentration risk in certain areas. Or maybe some quiet concern about the pace of fully realizing those acquisition synergies, like with VMware. It takes time and execution. These aren't the main story right now, but they're things a prudent investor would keep in the back of their mind as potential, bumps in the road.
Good to keep perspective. Okay, let's shift to market sentiment reflected in trading. What are the options traders telling us? Are they betting on a big move here?
Well, first, the stock price itself has had a bit of a run-up heading into earnings. Minor but noticeable, likely reflecting that sector momentum and anticipation. But yeah, the options market is where it gets really interesting. We're seeing call volume bets on the price going up, significantly outpacing put volume bets on the price going down.
Ah, the culprit ratio.
Exactly. That skew towards calls is a pretty clear signal of bullish sentiment among traders. It suggests they're positioning more for an upside surprise than a downside one.
So the options market is leaning bullish. With that in mind, what's the potential for a big move? How much volatility is being priced in?
The options market is definitely pricing in a significant move. It's not expecting a quiet report. The implied volatility is suggesting the market anticipates a potential move of around plus or minus 8 to 10% for the stock right after the earnings announcement.
8 to 10%, that's a pretty wide range.
Yeah.
So it really raises the question, what could actually cause that kind of move? Walk us through the bullish case first. What would a really great report look like?
Okay, the bullish scenario. This would involve Broadcom strongly beating the consensus estimates for both EPS and revenue. And critically, they'd likely need to beat that higher whisper number range we talked about, the $1.70 to $1.76.
Exceeding even the unofficial expectations.
Right. And then, the really key part. Management would probably raise their full-year guidance significantly. They'd likely cite continued, maybe even accelerating, strength in AI-related demand, Plus, good news on the software side, perhaps showing faster VMware integration benefits. You'd also want to see gross margins holding steady or even expanding. That combo would almost certainly fuel a strong rally.
Okay, that's the dream scenario for longs. Now paint the picture on the other side. What's the bearish case? What could go wrong?
The bearish case starts with a miss. Either EPS or revenue coming in below consensus, or maybe even just meeting consensus when a beat was expected, especially if it's below that whisper number. This could be coupled with margin compression, maybe costs are rising, or pricing power is weaker than thought, and then the guidance.
Yeah.
That would likely disappoint, either staying flat when an increase is hoped for, or worse, being lowered.
What reasons might they give?
Management might point to slower than expected progress on integrating those acquisitions, or maybe unexpected macroeconomic headwinds finally starting to bite harder than anticipated.
Huh.
Any of that could really knock the stock down.
So lots of moving parts. If you're watching this unfold, listening to the call, reading the report, what's the single most critical thing to focus on, the ultimate tell?
For me, hands down, it's the forward guidance for revenue and margins. That's number one. And pay super close attention to the commentary around that guidance, especially anything related to AI infrastructure and their cloud and data center demand.
Why the commentary specifically?
Because that's where you get the nuance, the context. It tells you why they expect what they expect. It gives the clearest signal about their confidence in the future trajectory and their ability to keep capitalizing on these massive tech trends. The forward look is really what drives the stock post-earnings. So if we try to tie all this together, the overall feeling, the leaning going into this Broadcom report is, I'd say, quite bullish. If I had to put a number on it, maybe a confidence score of 8 out of 10 for a positive outcome.
Yeah. 8 out of 10. Pretty confident.
Yeah, the recent history of beats, that bullish options activity we saw, the strong sector tailwinds from AI, it all points towards a positive setup. But you always need some caution. We mentioned the past volatility, the occasional margin pressures. It's never a sure thing. But the risk-reward, based on current info, seems skewed to the positive side.
Okay, an 8 out of 10 lean towards bullish. For listeners trying to decide what to do with this information, what are some potential strategies? Thinking about different risk appetites?
Right. It really depends on your personal risk tolerance. For someone comfortable with higher risk and who believes in that bullish case, maybe looking at long calls or some kind of bullish call spread could make sense to play for a rally. For someone who's more risk-averse or maybe just thinks a big move is likely but isn't sure which way.
Yeah, playing the volatility itself.
Exactly. Something like a straddle or a strangle could be considered. These option strategies can profit from a large price move in either direction, trying to capitalize on that high implied volatility we talked about. It limits the directional risk. And then for very conservative accounts, maybe avoiding large bets right before earnings is the way to go, especially if you're worried about volatility or the macro picture. Perhaps just holding your existing position, or maybe using smaller positions, or potentially some hedged option strategies if you're comfortable with those.
Lots of ways to approach it, depending on your view and comfort level. It really is fascinating, isn't it? As you consider Broadcom's upcoming earnings, just think about how quickly things can change in these tech sectors. AI, data centers, one earnings report, especially that forward guidance, can dramatically shift the whole narrative around a company. It's not just numbers, it's a potential catalyst for a major revaluation. Well, thank you for walking us through all of that. We hope you feel well-informed, maybe picked up some useful insights, and feel ready to track Broadcom's results when they land. Thanks for joining us on Investing Talk Podcast.